Okay, up next, this is Royal Court by Lieutenant Zorsselsson. It is on Barons. The description is the throne room with some gothic elements and a bit of a Dark Souls vibe in it. So let's have a quick look at this, and I can tell you right now it's going to be a pretty easy review because he's used all the templates and prefabs at his disposal, so that I know that the containment is good. I know the spawns are good. I know the floor is good, and I know the wall hop is almost good. Let's see. The only problem with it is a bit of the wall hop. And wait, I guess I should usually do this one of the last things, but check for frame rate. You know what? It's borderline, but there's just a little touch of frame rate when you look across the corner. See if it's the same the other way. Get right into the corner first. Okay, looking at blue side, I don't see any frame rate, but looking at red side I do, and they don't seem to be that different except the throne. So it's obviously something to do with your throne. Has a little bit too high piece count or something, but whatever it is, there's something. Could be the fire cauldrons. I don't know what it is. You'll have to spin it off into a test build and see what pieces. I mean, there's not a whole lot of pieces in there, but something is that block there, right there, is vanishing as I walk by these bars here. It de-draws and redraws, so it's just those two blocks too. That's weird. Okay, so something in this area, in this vicinity, is causing frame drops. So you might try using different types of pieces, or something. I'm sure it can't be that bad. Oh, hey, I spawned in here. So okay, that points out a new issue. Actually, that's not a problem. It's well kill zone, so you don't have to worry about changing those two blocks from the thin pieces. That's fine. So something in the throne area is causing frame drops, and as I say, it's not too bad. So just a matter of figuring out which pieces are causing it and simplify them again. The only other issue I can see on this is you have some overlap on the wall hop. You see that overlap right there? And what that does is it causes a dead zone. Let's try over here. I know there is one. I was looking at the map earlier and I was hitting dead zones. It's just a matter of lining up to them perfectly. But there are very minor dead zones where the overlap is here. Okay, and not only that, you may test fine in Forge, and then you go into a custom game, and yeah, see, there's one right there. See, not clambering right there. So there is a dead zone in that. Now you can fiddle with this all you want, but I'll show you the super easy way. You just grab your containment back there, you group it, you dupe it, and drop it down. Let me ungroup the original one. Okay, so drop this one down. And oh, that's not a block containment. Oh, okay, that's a problem as well. Actually, you should be okay with these. You have good overlap on these. Yeah. Okay. Anyhow, I thought those were blocks, so we'll just get rid of that. And since they're not blocks, Yeah, you've done this right. There's a bit of overlap here. There's a little bit more overlap on one side than there is on the other. You see your overlap line, which is right here. When you're using the 1 unit thick pieces for containment, they can shift slightly, and that will make this wall rough. But if you have them overlapped like that, that should be fine. So these should be fine. Let me just look at the other side. Yeah, see, this one doesn't overlap, and this one does. So yeah, you might want to rework those just a little bit. And by overlap, I'll show you what I mean. There you go. You see there's the one piece in the front, on the left one and the right one. You see, now that one's in front, now that one's in front. What you want is to have them so that there's a little bit of overlap. So you're going from here to here, but not making it so thin that you can't clamber. You see, now I can't clamber. So you've already used, you've used a bunch of you've used a bunch and their alignment blocks are all over the place. So I don't know which one of those is the proper one. I'm not sure. Oh, you know what? I can just, those are ungrouped. And that's ungrouped. See, I'm trying to figure out which is the proper alignment. But what you can do is, actually, never mind. Don't just ignore everything I said for the last 30 seconds here. This is what you can do, and it's really simple. I would get rid of your side containment. Okay, just delete those, and use 128. What am I doing? Visible block is, the block. There we go. Up. First of all, you have to find a way to spawn them in. You might have to leave the map to do that. Either way, just, you know what, I'm gonna, just as an example, I'll spawn one that's half the size, just to make sure that I can. Okay, so just imagine this is 128 tall. Okay, so you're gonna put that in the middle of your map. Okay, and line that up with your wall hop. Actually, there we go. There we go. So we're going to use that as the back wall of the wall hop. Okay, as I said, imagine it's 128 high. And then you're going to put another one in here. You turn your rotation snap to 1 degree, and you're going to turn it in 6 degrees. Okay. And okay, now, and let me do the other one over here, and it's going to be 6 degrees the other way. And just stick it to the corner with magnets for now. Okay. There we go. So make sure that you can clamber on this first, and I'm pretty sure we can. Okay, there we go. Now, with these side walls, you have all this extra wall out here you don't need. So you just grab it and turn your magnets off. Make sure your movement type is set to world so that you get the, I don't see where the gimbals are. Oh, they're probably outside the map. Yeah, anyhow, you just take these and you just slide them over so that there's, see, there's a little bit of overlap there. Now you should be able to clamber here. Yeah, I can clamber there. So same deal with this one. Just move him over so that there's a bit of overlap. Make sure you can clamber. Okay, and as I say, those are 128 high, or which they should be. So once you've done that, you just duplicate that. So group it, duplicate it. I'm going to ungroup the original one. Okay, and I'm just going to put this in. Similar, but what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to ungroup it right now, and I'm going to turn my magnets back on, and I'm just going to stick it so that the corners are touching. There's no overlap whatsoever on these, okay? So there we go. There's no overlap there. So you group the middle one. There you go. You got the 3 together. And this is going to be your wall hop now. Okay. Very simply put, we're just, because there's dead zones on that wall hop. Now you can line this up yourself, of course. Oh, there's a good way to align it. See, I aligned it to the block that's in there so that it's perfectly aligned. And it's aligned so much we're getting Z fighting. So we'll turn magnets off. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring this out a few units. See, that's going in. I'm going to move it out a few units. So it's like 0.5 out and then 0.5 up. Okay, now you can't really see it very well, but what we've done is we've made a false an invisible clamber ledge because your clamber ledge has dead zones on it. Now we have our own clamber ledge that is going to have 0 dead zones on it because there's actually no overlapping. You see, the pieces don't overlap. They just stuck their corners together so that this area here, there's no overlap now. And let's just verify that. And the way I line it up is I just line it up in Forge mode and go back to player mode and just keep clicking back and forth until your reticle settles, and then just whoop, I had to go to player mode. Sorry, that was my bad. Okay, there we go, and that was right on the joint, and we clambered without any problems. So you can't tell that there's any difference. It's just we've encased your clamber ledge with an invisible one just to get rid of the dead zones on it. And we also made your side containment out of blocks. And the reason why you do that, I've explained this in about 6 videos so far, but the reason you do that is here. I'll show you on this one. I'll just use this as an example. The 1 unit thick invisible blockers are very susceptible to shifting, and they shift in game, and then you go to Forge mode and they're perfect, and then you go back in the game and they shift it again. So you can't fix it because you don't know which way they're shifting. But what can happen is that they can turn. Now this is exaggerated, but they can turn in game so that they shift quite a bit. And this is, as I said, this is an exaggeration, but this can happen. Okay, and it's opened up a gap that, well, it's opened up a gap that might be big enough to throw the ball in behind there. Okay, but for sure it's going to get players caught up. Okay, it's going to cancel the wall hop in certain areas. See, no wall hop whatsoever, because these blocks tend to shift. Now the 128, 128, 128s tend to shift less, in my experience anyhow. And you're going to be overlapping the corners anyway, like so. So even if they do shift, I'll do the same thing with the block. Okay, I'll take that and I'll take that, and let's shift that 1 unit as well. Now it did the same thing where it's bumpy here, but you see now because they're blocks instead of sheets, there's no gap opening up here that you could toss the ball through if they do happen to shift. So that's why I prefer using blocks. The end walls are fine to use sheets, but the 1 unit thick invisible blockers. But for the side walls, I always use blocks just in case they do shift. They won't open up holes. Okay, so that's all you need to do on this court is take care of your wall hop and your side containment, and get rid of the frame rate on your throne, which is perplexing because it really doesn't look like it's enough pieces to cause frame rate. So something's going on in that area of the map. So take care of those 2 things. Let me know by message at Forge Hub or message on XBL that you've made your changes, and don't post it in the submission thread, but there's a you can either put a change log on your submission that you've already made, or you can post it in the send me a message on Forge Hub, or post it in the contest announcement thread. You can post it in there as well. Either of those places, and once you've made your changes, we'll move your map into round 2 of the technical review. And hopefully we can get it into the contest, into the proper contest once you get it fixed up. So nice court, and good luck getting it repaired. Thank you very much.